Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Brian's Basement. Today I wanted to take a look at two of my prized pieces of my collection and just kind of tell a story about how I found each of them and, how I became aware of them, because these are older stories at this point. So let's get right into it. So, the games that I'm talking about today are Snatcher and Panzer Dragoon Saga. I'm going to start off with Panzer Dragoon Saga because I remembered the story a little bit better. Snatcher, Panzer Dragoon Saga goes all the way back to when I was watching the G4 channel, believe it or not, on G4, on digital cable, back in probably between 2000 and 2002 and 2004, I would say. And I remember they had this show Cinematech that was really awesome. It would kind of show you the different cinemas, the CG motion videos from games, and string them together like the old music video shows would do, like on MTV Jams back in the day, another digital cable channel. And I remember seeing this game a lot on Cinematech, Panzer Dragoon Saga, and I remember being really intrigued by it and wanting it, and obviously never seeing it when I would go to Electronics Boutique or anywhere, and never stumbling across it. But as time went on, I still always thought about this game, and I think for my birthday in college one year, I was able to get it with some money that I had saved up, because people were just giving me money for my birthday. And so I picked it up and I got it for I think it was $90 or $100, which was kind of expensive back then for a game, but being what it is now, I'm more than happy I paid for it. And it's been one of my favorite games ever since then. I've kind of mentioned it in passing, but I love the design. It reminds me a lot of the breathtaking appeal of Shenmue, and it kind of gives me a kind of a look into maybe, I always feel like those teams might have talked, the Shenmue team and the team making this, Team Andromeda and AM2 team. So it's always interesting to think about. And this is just a really beautiful game, really breathtaking RPG, which sadly probably won't ever be re-released, because I think the rumor is, and there's probably some truth to it, that the source code for this game is gone. So, sad, but awesome, awesome, awesome Saturn RPG. Fully voiced, it is just it's awesome. It just makes me really wish that Shenmue came out on the Saturn. So the next game, the Hideo Kojima classic Snatcher. So I found out about this game. I can't really remember how I found out about this game. It might have just been because of the internet and how much I liked Metal Gear, and I was just kind of going back, or I might have seen something with it on Cinematech, but I can't remember for sure about this one. So it's a little foggy on this one, but it was the same kind of deal. Yeah, I think it was my birthday in 2008 or 9 that I got this. And then I can't remember, somewhere in the realm of 2009, 2010, that I picked this up. And it was the same kind of thing where I had seen something about it, read something about it on the internet, and it was kind of before video games really had exploded. Because I did at one point want to replace this, and then now it's just well, I'm not gonna do that. I want to get a better copy since I love the game so much, but it's just so expensive. But Snatcher is just an excellent, excellent game, and at the time when I got it, I didn't even have a Sega CD. I had to go over to my friend Chris's house, who had a Sega CD, and me and my buddy played through the whole thing in a couple of nights, a couple of foggy nights. So I vaguely remember that first playthrough, but it wasn't until getting my CRT set up and getting back more into retro games that I like revisited this and just was really happy when I got back into stuff and say, I don't know, I guess I started seriously collecting again in 2015, maybe. And even then, these were still pretty pricey. So it was cool to have, you know, made some good choices with picking these two up back then. So just wanted to share those stories and kind of show off these two little babies of my collection. I'll probably do a more complete review of these at some point, but I just wanted to share that story because I always, you know, I always found it interesting how things, how the value of video games especially, you know, really has skyrocketed in recent years. And I would have never thought, you know, back then, even in 2009, especially in like 2002. In 2002, I was actually like collecting a lot, even though I was like in middle school, high school. I didn't have much money. I was still collecting. I still have a good amount of my PlayStation games from back then. But anyway, getting back to my point, you know, I didn't realize things would ever get to the way that they are, and it was always just kind of because I liked the stuff and I thought it was cool that I collected it and gave value to it. Because even in like 2009, 2010, I think $100 for these games was pretty expensive, because I was like, you know, you're paying more than a new game. I mean, now that like retro games are like old comic books and the prices are just explosion, you know, that's not that bad, especially for these. But you know, it's interesting to think about, because I didn't really, I don't have plans to sell these, and I didn't really get into it to sell them. But it's crazy. It's very crazy. So I'm always like, you know, kind of just looking at these now like, wow, I can't believe I bought that. So do you have any games like that you picked up way back when that are just whoosh, crazy right now, that you can't believe, but you would never get rid of because you love them too much? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. Alright, thanks for watching Brian's Basement. We'll see you next time.